So Drew and Jonathan, it's always so great to chat with you two. From the looks of it, you guys are having a wonderful summer. I kind of want to go with what the kids are saying with like a brat summer. So maybe we're all having a brat summer.
You're
Um,
noticing my tan? Is that what you're talking
yes,
about? This
yes.
lovely glow?
Lovely glow.
That's a
You're
beard.
glistening. You both are glistening. I do want to congratulate you, Drew and Linda, for welcoming your second baby, Piper Ray. She is so cute. What's Parker like as a big brother?
Oh, it's so funny. And by the way, I didn't think about this before with the names being Piper and Parker. I constantly call Piper Parker and Parker Piper. So it's like pick a peck of pickle
Yeah.
Parker. But it's at first he was a little trepidatious, would that be the word? Like he didn't know what to expect. It's almost like he thought she was gonna hurt him or something because he was like, ah. And then he was getting a little jealous. Who's this lady coming along and stealing my time? I'm the most important one in this house. And now he's at the point where he seems to just want to spend every minute with her. He wants to nuzzle up with her and kiss her hand or her head and kind of pet her and stuff like that. It's really adorable to see the two of them together.
Yeah, and I think for both of you, it must be something so sweet to see because you're both siblings, and finally, Parker's got a little sister. And I always think, Jonathan, you are 4 minutes older than Drew, so he's your little twin brother. I would say.
Might
Should I
be
nuzzle up and
less cute when he nuzzles me.
yeah.
Right, of
No, but
course.
it is nice. I mean, I know what it was like having JD and Jonathan growing up. Like I loved having siblings.
Mhm.
And Jonathan and Zoe, they have two kids. They know what it's like to have siblings, and it can be the best of times and the worst of times because we have even like Linda's sisters have kids, and you see they love each other, they hate each other, they love each other, and so now with them especially being 2 years apart, I think that that's going to help them. Hopefully, it'll help them bond and be closer as they get older.
And I like seeing our kids play together as well because we were visiting our parents' house the other day, and so Drew and Linda were there with their kids. Our kids love little kids, and so they were with Parker. They drew him pictures, and they were actually, it was so funny because Charlie, our 7-year-old, loves to break dance, and so he would do a move, and then Parker would mimic the move and do the same thing. It was so funny.
It was so adorable, and both Charlie and Elsie, like the whole time we were there, it's almost like the grandparents didn't get to see any of them because they were all hanging and they were teaching Parker things. But Parker loves dance and he loves movement. So aside from trying to copy, Charlie's pretty good with breakdancing. Parker just lays on the ground and flops. But they're synchronized swimming for the Olympics. Linda walked into the room and synchronized swimming was on the TV. And Parker, when they're underwater and they stick their legs up and they're doing like the deep, deep, deep. Anyway, Parker was on his back in sync, doing the exact same thing with his legs that they were doing. It was the funniest thing.
I'm telling you, Olympics 2036 with these kids.
Yeah.
They're going to be in on it. Jonathan, I wanted to ask, you are a fun dad from what the sounds of it are. And I wanted to know what's the difference between Jonathan the dad and Jonathan the uncle, because I'm sure you're doting in both aspects, but yeah.
Well, I'm a very immature adult, just so you know.
Right.
And so I get along very good with the kids. There's something, I don't know what it is, if it's just my face or my eyebrows. Parker laughs.
Hilarious.
Hilarious. He thinks I'm hilarious.
He is the funniest person on the planet.
Our kids are the same. I mean, I'm a jokester with them, and I can also, because with kids, like they'll do something funny, and if you laugh, they'll do it 400 more times.
Yeah.
And so I'm totally fine with the 400 more times. I just let them keep going at it, and so yeah, no, I at some point, I'm told I need to be more serious. I need okay, time's over. Let's be serious and get organized to leave. So
now, whoever told you that, they don't know anything. Big kid life. Interesting fact, parent fact, which you probably went through this with the kids too. So kids like to read the same thing over a million times, watch the same thing over a million times, say the same thing over a million times. At first, I was like, no, Parker, move on. Let's get a different song or a different book. Then I realized, no, this makes life really easy. You only need like 3 books or 3 things that they can watch. And then you'll
notice that their favorite movie is always the last movie they watched, or their favorite book is always, and so that's,
or the last one you want to watch.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Sometimes they'll also, they'll say, yeah, I really want to watch this. I'm like, oh, there's 10 more years before you're watching, that.
Yeah. Like no Deadpool Wolverine for them right now.
Oh my God.
I was literally just having that conversation because, that I'm going to dress up as Wolverine for Halloween.
Oh, wow.
And so Charlie was like, oh, what's Wolverine? Who's Wolverine? I'm like, oh, he's one of the X-Men. And I'm going through, I'm like, well, I'll show you that. And I play the trailer. And then I realize, oh no, you're not watching this.
We had friends over for dinner last night, and one of the friends, and they brought their kids, so the kids are all around 8 and 9 years old. So the one family, their kids have watched Deadpool, the other family doesn't let their kids watch Deadpool, but the kids were talking, and then those kids were saying to the parents, "Why do they get to watch Deadpool and we don't?" And that was the whole thing the whole night.
Gosh.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
derailed the conversation with kid
We
talk.
did, but it's fun, and we're talking about celebrity culture and Celebrity IOU. Great segue to that because Hugh Jackman's great, and I hope to see him one of these days on the show. He would be awesome. But I
I
do
would
want
love
to
it.
talk about, yeah, I would love to talk about this season, that Mandy Moore episode. I loved it. Another one that was so emotional. I loved her relationship with Selena. She's been with her since she was 15, and I'm wondering what was it like for you guys seeing their bond in person, and how did that influence the renovation project?
It's just so beautiful to see this side of the celebrities you never get to see and see how much they care for. And every story is different on Celebrity IOU, but there was definitely a strong connection with Selena. And, that episode, well, we had a lot of stress on that because it was an outdoor space that we were doing in the pouring rain that entire week. I think we maybe had one dry day the entire time we were doing that project. And then when that wasn't causing problems, Drew trying to slip in lyrics from Mandy's pop songs into everything he was saying, that caused problems.
No, I mean, good thing that she loves her fans, and Mandy thought it was funny. But whether it was her lyrics from her songs or like A Walk to Remember, I'm just like in the scene. I'm like, oh guys, it's raining so much. This is us. Look at us. It's going to be a walk to remember. One day we'll look back.
Don't worry, guys. When this project's done, it'll be sweet as candy. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh God,
amazing. But
yeah,
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was going to ask, because that was funny when she asked you, Drew, like if you get the timeline within 3 weeks, and you were laughing at it. And I'm wondering, like, when you have things like outside factors, the weather, kind of cutting things at the time that you need, how do you guys deal with that, especially with so many different projects you have to tackle?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is most of the celebrities we have, they haven't done big renovations before. They've never done it, and they have no idea. So they're just like, "Is this something we can do in 2 weeks?" I'm like, "No, this should be 10 months, but we're going to try and get it done in 5 weeks, whatever it might be."
Yeah.
So the good thing is we've done so much of this over the years. We are very efficient. We have a big team, a strong team, and that's what helps expedite. And just also the fact that the celebrities are willing to get their hands dirty, like that, like literally we had Tony Hawk, Wanda Sykes, I'm sure a couple of others I'm forgetting, were up on the roofs of the buildings, like ripping off the old shingles and doing new. Wanda Sykes had a torch, we were calling it a blowtorch, but she's up there like laughing maniacally and like with this flamethrower on the roof. Like there are things that they're willing to do that I didn't think they would do, and it's hilarious to see.
Well, and then there's other stuff that slows us down too. Like Mira Sorvino and Drew were both on Dancing with the Stars, and so every 2 seconds I turn around and they're dancing.
Yes,
during the reno, which was entertaining, but not getting stuff done.
Sometimes you have to whistle while you work. Sometimes you have to dance while you work.
Yes. Well, it's true. It's real life. We're covering real life stories. Sometimes it's a total surprise. So, the recipient might be away for whatever reason for 4 weeks. That's all we have, because when they come back, they're going to discover what's happening. Sometimes they're aware of it, and we put them in a temporary place, and we just have to delay them. The Zach Braff episode, for example, that project was just a nightmare. We had so many problems. The illegal work, you name it, had been hidden from the family when they bought the house, and we were going to make sure that it was done right. So that project ended up taking over twice as long as it was supposed to. But Zach was great. He was there all the time. He wanted to make
even
sure
there when he wasn't supposed to be there, which is hilarious to me. That was like Jay Leno when we shot with Jay. Like we would show up and they're already on the construction site ready to work, and we're like, shouldn't you be filming somewhere like for your shows or whatever? Like, no. This is most important to get this done. I love that. I was going to say one other thing that's very interesting that I forgot about, which was a bit of a headache and a bit of a delay. For Danny Trejo, for his episode, it was converting a garage into a living space, like a family space, because their house, the family that he was giving back to, the house was really, really tiny, and Maeve wanted to have a space for her kids. So converting this garage was one thing, but when we went in there and found out that structurally it wasn't exactly safe because the neighbor had planted bamboo next to the garage. And if you've ever worked with bamboo, it grows
very invasive,
crazy, very fast. We opened up the wall on the one side. The bamboo shoots were like this thick. Inside the wall, it had taken over the wall and it was all corroded and broken away. So we had to actually tame that and get the bamboo out of the wall, structure the building sound, then finish the space. So things like that.
Fortunately, Danny Trejo's good with a machete.
Yeah.
And so he was able to chop that all down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's gonna be fun. I do want to ask though, what else can we expect this season? Because I love the emotional moments. They really do, get to your heart. Like they're just so sweet.
You don't expect to see this other side of those celebrities. Like everybody sees again, Danny Trejo as this super serious John. I don't know if you said this earlier. Jonathan said like day one to Danny, like Danny, I'm afraid of you. But it's he's such a teddy bear and he's a sweetheart. And to see that side, or even like Mandy, who is a sweetheart, but then you see this badass side of her that comes out there and is just swing a sledgehammer. It's pretty fun.
Same with Jennifer Jason Leigh. She's like so quiet and kind and sweet. And then you see this side come out where she tackles the demo and the renovation. I love just getting people out of their shell. Some of these folks, we unleash a monster, and I'm pretty sure they're going around smashing houses beyond the show.
I had to laugh with Jennifer because when we're ready to do this, Jennifer is getting so into it. She's so excited. And again, she's known the recipient for 40 years, because she worked with her mom before.
Right.
Anyway, so she really wanted to get into this. And when we were telling her about what we can do, potential for the space, Jennifer was just like, let's do this. And I was like, this little quiet, cute mouse. She's so sweet.
I did not expect that to come out of her.
Hilarious.
No, that's great. It's nice to get them out of the shell. And one of the things I do want to say about this show that I love, and the commonality between the themes, is that it is rooted in sincere gratitude. There's so much love. There's so much heart to the words of the show. And, we don't give ourselves enough credit for what we put out into the world to help others. And I know you guys have been doing this for a long time. And I would love to hear from the two of you what it means that you get to have these celebs involve you in such personally intimate projects, because it is so, close, important to them. For you, I'm sure that's so humbling.
It's an incredible experience. I tell people every day I have the greatest job in the world because one,
you get to work with me.
Yes, I get to work with Drew.
Yes.
One, demolition is just so damn fun. It is really, really fun. But then when you hand the keys over and you transform a family's lives, I think that also impacts everyone around them. You really are paying it forward that way. These celebrities come in and they are selfless. They are willing to go way outside of their comfort zones and do something they've never done before. And it does really create a bond. We'll go to events years later and we'll bump into Viola Davis and Brad Pitt and you name it. And it's like a family reunion because you've really experienced something special with all of these folks.
And actually one thing which we don't usually talk about, which I think is actually just goes to show how big a heart these celebrities have, is they don't get paid anything to be on our show. They're just doing this out of the kindness of their heart. There is no fee, because you think about it, like these celebrities going to do some sort of a guest spot or a cameo on a show, they make a lot of money. They don't get anything on this aside from the satisfaction that they're doing something good for someone they love.
Yeah, no, I love that. And last question, are there any dream celebs you would love to see on the next season? Because I know we'll have more for sure.
Why aren't we having Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds?
That should be it. Let's get Deadpool and Wolverine. But the thing is that there's a caveat. They have to dress as Deadpool and Wolverine the entire time.
He's taking his claws throughout the demo.
You want to take down this wall? I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
that would be hilarious. But
he just.
I want Ryan's writers, or Sean Levy's writer, like their writing team. They have to come and write our episodes so we have a lot of good zingers. That's all.
Yeah, no, you guys are funny. I give you credit for always being funny and so amazing. And I'm so excited for Celebrity IOU. The new season is premiering on August 12th on HGTV and Max. And I'm always so thankful to talk to you too. It's always so great. Everywhere I go, I literally, when my friends have they're putting up something and they want to break down a wall, I'm like, is this a load bearing wall? Are you sure?
Yeah. So you're now our property sister.
Yeah, I have a property sister. So my we're always going out to see things. But every time I see you guys, I'm just so happy I'm just so happy for your success. And you guys are awesome.
Well, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
I'm sure we'll see you again in a couple of months.
Yeah, we'll see you in a couple of months. I'll see you guys.
Thanks.
Take care.
Bye, Tanya.
Thanks. Bye.